World War Hulk is one of the character's most popular stories. Even those not well versed in comics are likely to be familiar with it, thanks to it being known as the de facto Hulk vs. Everyone story, and its status as a sequel to another popular storyline, Planet Hulk. So it's not a shocker that it's commonly called back to in anything having to do with the green guy. But did you know there are a few stories that take an alternate route as to what happened during this event? Let's begin with What If Planet Hulk? What if Hulk died in the explosion instead of Kyera? So you might think this doesn't count as it's What If Planet Hulk, but let's be real, the events that transpire are basically World War Hulk, or World War Kyera in this case. How did Hulk die in a measly explosion? Who knows. What matters is that a furious Kyera bonds with the old power and sets out her revenge to enslave Earth's heroes. With the power of plot armor and apathy, she completely runs over everyone and forces them to build an enormous statue of Hulk. She then bonds to it by becoming a statue herself and cements her love with the Hulk forever. Next, we move on to What If World War Hulk, which offers a plethora of alternate endings. First, we start with What If the heroes lost World War Hulk? Now, during the original event, the Skrulls were secretly invading Earth and replacing various heroes in an act to conquer the planet. In this story, Tony unleashes the laser satellite without precaution and wipes out the entirety of Manhattan and its heroes, including the Skrull Queen, posing as Spider-Woman. The Skrulls move forward with their plan as they see Hulk's arrival as a sign. So they swoop in, take out the remaining heroes, and successfully rule the world. Meanwhile, Bruce Banner is running away in a desolate New York until Vision shows up and convinces him to help out the remaining survivors. He agrees, but the Skrull shenanigans continue as the Wasp turns out to be a Skrull and infects Yellowjacket with a virus that finishes off the last heroes, except for Hulk, who calls upon the Silver Surfer and demands that he summon Galactus to destroy the planet. Galactus arrives and destroys Earth, leaving Hulk as the sole survivor to make him his new herald. With nothing else to live for, Hulk agrees and becomes the new herald of Galactus, the Worldbreaker. It's a nice story with beautiful art. I'd love to see this incarnation of Hulk revisited sometime, maybe in some multiverse crossover. Next is, what if Thor entered World War Hulk? At this point, Thor was off restoring Asgard in Oklahoma and eventually traveled to Africa, so he couldn't intervene with Hulk's attack and didn't even know of it. But this time, he decides to halt his adventure to return to Manhattan just in time for Hulk's attack and decides to intervene with the Warriors 3. Hulk doesn't budge and gets to a fight with Thor before stumbling across civilians trapped underneath a demolished subway station. Hulk, who previously thought New York had been evacuated, takes pity on the civilians and offers to help alongside Thor. Through this, Hulk comes out of his rage and realizes he shouldn't be doing this. Thor negotiates a deal with Hulk and the other heroes in resolving the issue. This leaves Hulk to go back to Sakaar, where he finds out through the Warbound that Meek was the person who set off the bomb. On Earth, the heroes repair the destruction, and Thor returns to his original goal. Not a terrible story, but I always thought it was funny how Hulk's rampage would be stopped by seeing innocents affected by his attack, considering that also kinda happened in the original story, but I guess Thor being there to reason with him through it all helped a lot. Little bonuses from this comic come from Say What? World War Hulk that have some silly alternate moments that could have happened, like Hulk broadcasting on public TV or Doctor Strange attempting to get his hands fixed. Marvel Zombies return. After devouring their entire universe, the zombified heroes of Earth 2149 are sent to Earth 91136, aka Earth Z, where Zombie Spider-Man seeks to find a cure to the disease, while Zombie Giant Man is finding ways to spread it across this world and other realities. In issue 4 of Marvel Zombies Return, we are greeted by Hulk and his Warbound heading to the moon to confront Black Bolt, but upon arriving, it is a lot quieter than usual. Forcing his way into Adelon, Hulk discovers a grisly sight of mutilated bodies and a zombified Black Bolt and Medusa. Hulk is then surrounded by other zombified Inhumans, including Giant Man. Hulk calls forth the Warbound to kill the zombies. Now, you're likely thinking, oh, this is Green Scar. He's at his angriest and reached Worldbreaker status during the original event. Surely these walking corpses aren't doing anything to him, or his Warbound for that matter, right?
No.
They get easily steamrolled, with most of the Warbound being consumed by the zombies, except for Alo, who escapes with Hulk, but once outside, she notices a bite on his arm. Suddenly, the hunger calls out to Hulk, and he eats her. Looking for more food, he sets his sights on Earth, and lands directly in the middle of New York City, which quickly becomes a buffet. The Illuminati call Sentry to stop the attack, pummeling Hulk enough to avert him into Banner. Sentry reverts to Bob, and attempts to help Bruce, before he is bitten and becomes another zombie. Now together, nothing can stop them as they begin devouring everything in sight. Although later, Sentry betrays Hulk and attempts to kill him to have more food for himself. This leads to Hulk eventually joining Spider-Man's new Avengers to defeat the last zombified heroes, and finally end the virus once and for all. This somewhat gets a positive ending, despite Sentry being sent back to the original universe to start this again, but Hulk had a redemption arc along with Spidey, and ultimately came to his senses, so that's good. It is funny to see Hulk easily taken down by Giant Man, as if he's a being of immense power, even noting he'd never been hit so hard before. Like, dude, be serious. World War Hulk Frontline. Issue 4 of World War Hulk Frontline includes a what if scenario that shows Hulk defeating lesser known characters of the Marvel Universe. That's it. Nothing else happens aside from him eating Frogman. You sure this guy isn't a zombie as well? Exiles Days of Then and Now. Exiles Days of Then and Now features an alternate reality where Earth had been decimated by Hulk, who, after being shot into space, was found by the Warriors of Annihilus and offered the choice of either dying or joining them. Hulk went on a different route and chose to kill Annihilus and Earth's heroes by taking control of the Annihilation Wave and wiping out most of the heroes with a few remaining. It's implied that Hulk never landed on Sakaar, so you could say this maybe doesn't count, but he is still wearing the same outfit he had during the event and sought revenge on everyone regardless, so I'm counting it. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe One Last Time is a recent series that follows Deadpool on a multiversal hunt, killing various heroes. In one universe, he comes across Hulk, aka the Worldbreaker, who mistakes Deadpool to be from his world and mentions how he had already killed him along with many others. Hulk is in his gladiator outfit as opposed to his king attire, but nonetheless, he extracted his revenge and was even too much for Deadpool to handle. In the middle of their fight, Hulk mysteriously disappears, but Deadpool mentions he'll find him again, so there's a chance in the following issue we'll see this Hulk return and possibly be killed. Those are the few what ifs and alternate timelines I know of. I wouldn't be surprised if there are more, so if I missed anything, just let me know. This was fun to go through. I love seeing major events have a different outcome or intertwine with another event. Always awesome to experience.